There is so much contradictory information about plant care on the internet that it can be really difficult to parse out what's correct and what's nonsense. So let's debunk a few of these myths, shall we? First, low-light plants. Honestly, there are no true low-light plants. I know I harp on this a lot, and it's because I've lost a lot of plants trying to grow them in windows that only get half a day of sun. When I worked in plant shops, people would ask me if they can grow a plant in their windowless bathroom. I mean, you can, but not for long. You might remember from my video about light, which I'll link at the end, deep shade outdoors is brighter than direct sun indoors. That means deep shade outdoors is several orders of magnitude brighter than your windowless bathroom. No plant will survive without sun, or at the very least, a grow light. And most of them need a lot more than you might think. Here's another one I see a lot. Misting your plants will raise the humidity. Sure, for a few minutes before it evaporates. Excessive misting can even put spots on plant leaves or burn them if you do it in direct sun. A pebble tray, a plant saucer filled with pebbles and water that you put the plant on top of, will add a little bit of humidity to the air, but not quite enough to make a difference to the plant. It's much more efficient to use a humidifier or a terrarium or a cloche. That's what they're made for. This one really gets me. Water your orchids with an ice cube. Oh. Orchids are tropical plants. Tropical climates rarely freeze, if ever. The chances of an orchid encountering ice in its natural habitat are close to nil, and the cold water that trickles down from an ice cube can shock the roots. I even saw a photo a few days ago of a Schlumbergera, a Christmas cactus, with a pile of ice cubes on top of it. If tropical plants can't handle being outdoors when the temps are in the 40s, they're definitely not going to like ice water on their roots. And here's one that even experienced planty people get wrong. A layer of rocks at the bottom of a pot will improve drainage and help to avoid root rot. Yep, that's a myth too. I used to recommend that people put a layer of lava rock at the bottom of a pot with no drainage to keep the roots from sitting in water. But all that actually does is raise the water table and increase your chances of root rot. Here's how that works. Soil is absorbent and water seeks its own level. So the lowest part of the soil will always be the wettest, whether there are rocks at the bottom or not. A layer of rocks creates a perched water table, meaning the wettest part of the soil is perched on top of the rocks. You've reduced the amount of room in the pot for healthy roots to grow by raising the part of the soil that's the wettest. If there's a drainage hole, there's no need to add rocks. If there's no drainage hole, you're better off using it as a cache pot and just putting your plant in a smaller one that you can water and let drain in a sink. The exception is, of course, a terrarium, but the advantage there is that you can see how much water you're pouring in, and you know exactly where the water table is. And last, but certainly not least, houseplants purify the air in your home. Oh. NASA did a study on this back in 1989 that concluded that yes, plants do absorb volatile organic compounds like formaldehyde and benzene, but the difference in air quality was only significant in a sealed, controlled environment. The average home is not a sealed environment. At least I'd hope not. And the average plant collection is not enough to make much of a difference in air quality. For that, you're better off with an air purifier. So, there you go. 5 houseplant myths debunked. I really hope this keeps at least some of you from having to sift through tons of information and misinformation on the internet. Did you know the truth, or did any of these surprise you? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified when I release a new video. You can also find me on Instagram at planty.jen, where I share photos and tips as well. If you'd like to learn more about me, please visit my website at plantyjenstinylandscapes.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Time for that theme song.
If your plants look sad and you've lost all hope, tried everything, you're at the end of your rope, should you throw them out into the street? Nope, just ask Planty Jen. If you want to be a planty acolyte, learn the tips and tricks to keep them growing right. Water, fertilizer, and the right amount of light, just ask Planty Jen.